Fy fan.
The infamous OLA.
Don't say that. You're making me nervous. I'm just gonna clap and then we start.
Sure.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to Coffee with Ola. Coffee with Dino, who's not drinking coffee.
No, only tea.
That's good. Dino Cazares of Fear Factory, Asesino, Brujeria, every other band.
Divine Heresy.
Divine Heresy, exactly. I was about to say that.
A lot of
How you doing,
stuff.
man?
I've done a lot.
Thanks
It's an honor to be here.
No,
to be
it's
honest with
my
you.
honor. Thank you so much.
It's my honor.
It makes me really happy.
It's my honor.
Like if you would have told me, or someone, my wife would have told me that I would meet you, and
How did we meet?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but I mean, you've came to our shows before.
Yes.
We've hung out,
Yes.
stuff like that before, but
Exactly.
I don't remember exactly where we met.
Probably at a festival or a tour or something like that, or at Namm. Some year.
Maybe. I've been coming to Namm since early 90s, 92, 93.
Right.
When it a couple of times it used to be downtown LA.
Yes. Exactly.
And it was a lot cooler then.
But now I'm here.
Exactly.
Just
so
saying.
that makes it even better.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. No, but it means a lot to me to have you on here because it's, I mean, you're part of, I'm such a 90s smell freak.
Yeah.
And you're part of that.
Nice.
So,
I'm an 80s metal freak.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know.
So that's pretty much where I got a lot of my inspiration.
Right.
You know.
So can we start with that? Like how,
Sure.
what's your story? Like how did it all happen?
I was 9 years old and I saw AC/DC on TV and I saw Angus Young and I knew already at 9 years old that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so obviously it progressed from there. You know, it got heavier and heavier and heavier and early Metallicas and early, Van Halen, 70s in the Van Halen, all that stuff. And it just, like I said, it just progressed from there. And I picked up an acoustic guitar because my dad was into mariachi music.
Okay.
So there was always a guitar laying around. And I just started picking it up and starting to learn easy songs, Smoke on the Water type stuff.
That's my first riff.
Yeah, and then it just gets better. You get better and better. And I just went and bought my first guitar when I was like 13, and then it just got heavier and brutal since then.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So the story about your first band. So like when you came to LA and started that whole thing. And
My first band was called Bolton, like Michael Bolton,
really?
but with a lightning bolt. Yeah.
Oh.
And we would do cover songs like Motley Crue and stuff like
cool.
that. Yeah, it was fun.
Awesome.
But and then after that, I moved to LA. I was 17 years old, moved to Los Angeles, got a Greyhound bus ticket, graduated high school, came straight over to LA, and I just instantly was playing in metal bands. One of the first guys I met was Dave Mustaine.
Oh, really?
I was like, just about turned 18. I met Dave Mustaine, and he just was starting Megadeth, and he was the first guy that I started to pick his brain and ask him questions and how he did it.
Wow.
So he kind of helped me back then, believe it or not.
amazing.
Believe it or not.
Amazing. But did you go with the intent to
Yes.
create a metal band
Yes.
in LA?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Wow.
I tried out for a lot of bands in LA. A lot of bands said I was too young
Yeah.
because I was like 17, 18 years old trying out for these bigger bands and
Right.
stuff. And they're like, you're a kid, get out of here, And so I decided, okay, I need to start my own band. And that's what I did. And
That's
Fear
cool.
Factory, well, actually, Brujeria was first.
Okay.
And then Fear Factory.
Okay, that's cool. So regarding Brujeria and all the constellations of Brujeria, there's a connection there because Adrian and Jensen
Yes.
has also played. I mean, whenever it's needed.
Yeah.
In the different tours. And
Brujeria was always just a collection of musicians
Yes.
and whoever was available at the time
Yeah.
that we would all get together, like basically during Christmas time, around December, because everybody's not touring.
Yes.
And we would go in and make records.
Yeah.
And we would write songs off the fly. Like we can write a song in an hour and boom, that was a song. And then whatever we recorded, that was it. And that was the whole beauty of it because it was just natural.
Yeah.
And it sounded cool. And then obviously the heavy lyrics that came along with it, a lot of it's true, a lot of it's untrue. But so whoever was available, that's who we had playing. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. So the show, I think the show we were talking about where we met and you had me out there, I met you backstage and all that was 2015, 16 or something.
It was
like
the 20-year anniversary of Demanufacture.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. And I think I said it to you then, but I think like Burden and you guys, I thought you were as good as ever. Like you were so good live.
Oh, you mean like just it was being really tight?
It was just
yeah.
It blew my mind that you were so awesome. I mean, I knew you were awesome because I've seen you before, but like I thought that Burton was he was amazing, and you fucking wrecked it.
Yeah, we really rehearsed a lot for that tour,
Yeah.
just to make sure that we played the record precisely how it is, and that's pretty much what we did.
Yeah,
So,
and I was asking you before because I thought the tone was just really crushing. I think it was Kemper.
yeah, it was a Kemper. It was a modified Marshall that Fortin did for me a few years back, and I just profiled it, and that was my tone.
Oh, shit.
And I try to EQ it close to manufacturer, but obviously add a little bit more girth to it.
Did you EQ into Kemper then?
In the Kemper.
Okay.
Yeah, because it didn't need much.
Okay.
But just scooped out some of the mids,
Right.
add some a little bit of the lows,
Yeah.
a little bit of the presence to give it that bite on top.
That's right. With the Kemper, I kind of feel like when you do a profile, as soon as you start EQing, that's where it's like, it starts to...
It depends how far you go.
Yeah.
You can go a little bit,
Yeah.
but when you start going too far, then it starts to get a little too fake.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was such a cool show. I was really happy. I was there with one of my childhood friends who's also a big fan.
I believe I contacted you on Instagram to come out
Probably.
to the show. Yeah.
Probably.
You probably don't remember, but I remember that I think I direct messaged you on Instagram saying, "Hey, you got to come out," and blah blah blah. And I've known you talked about Fear Factory a few times.
Yes.
On
a
your
lot of
show.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you for all that because because of you introduced us to a lot of new gear.
Oh, yeah,
to a lot
okay.
of people who don't have access to all that. Like for instance, More Audio.
Oh, yeah.
You were
that's
doing
right.
them 2 or 3 years ago, and I ended up getting into it too. And I ended up contacting Devin because he had something going on with
that
More
space
Audio.
delay thing,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so they sent me a bunch of products because of that. So that was really cool. Not just them, but other companies too.
But
I'm like, Ola's playing it. Will it chug? Okay, I gotta call that company and see if they're gonna send me some stuff.
Did it check?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Most of the stuff you do, 90% of the stuff you do,
I know.
chugs.
Yeah, I know.
It's just.
It's just a matter of game.
Yes, exactly.
So, but your relationship with Fortin,
Yeah.
because you also share that as well. I mean, you're a fan of Fortin, and
A long time ago,
Yeah.
a few years ago. One of the things I like about Fortin is that he really knows how to dial in the modern tone.
yes,
Right? He's also a fan of the 80s tone, all the guys who modified
Modern
amps way
Marshalls.
back,
Yeah.
way back in the 80s. And that's kind of like how I got into it as well, too. Back in 88, I had a Jason Mayhunter Marshall. It was like a 83 or 84. And I took it to this guy. His name is Alan Merman.
Oh, okay,
He's a Israeli guy.
okay.
And he had a little shop. It was called Metaltronics. And I took it to him and I go, I want this head to sound like the first Van Halen record, right? He called me up a couple days. He goes, yeah, it's done. I'm like, I go down there, take my guitar and I'm playing it. Oh my God, it sounded amazing, right? But it needed a noise gate because it was just very,
Okay.
high gain amp.
Yeah.
So he goes, yeah, give me another couple days, I'll put a noise gate in it. So he put the noise gate in it, and that was my tone.
Oh, shit.
Soul in the Machine, G-Manufacture, all those records obsolete. And then during the obsolete tour, the head gets stolen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so that was like, I made a mistake of taking that head out. But they didn't have the technology like they did
Yeah.
now back then. And if they did, I would have campered it and left it at home.
Yeah. Well, it is out there somewhere, I guess.
Somebody
Someone's
has it.
sitting there chugging that.
Somebody
thing.
has it. We found it. We found a kid who has an identical.
Oh, okay.
So the guy did more than one, obviously.
Oh, okay.
So this kid has an identical, and we copied it
Okay.
pretty much.
Okay.
Kid didn't
cool.
want to Kid didn't want to sell it,
That's cool though.
so we ended up copying it. So that's Fortin got the head, copied
Yeah.
it. So that's coming next. Yes.
Secret.
Secret. Not really much of a secret, but
There's something coming.
yes.
Nice. Awesome. So before, like Fear Factory,
Mm-hmm.
is anything happening?
At the moment that it's happening, because we've been, as most people might have heard, we've been going through a lot of legal issues.
Yes.
Yes, and until that's all resolved, we're hoping to make a new record and so on and so on. But
You're just waiting to get
waiting
put
for
that
it.
past.
Yes. So in the meantime, I've been touring with my other band called Asesino,
Yes.
and we tour all through South America. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they treat you like gold out there. So I really like going out there. And obviously, it's all in Spanish.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it works out well out there.
That's awesome. All right. What's this?
Okay. Well,
Perry Ormsby is sitting right over there.
These
Just
are.
saying, I just want to point that out. So it's under gun threat. No, just kidding.
These are my signatures or customs, as you would say, with Ormsby guitars. 20 years ago, I was with Ibanez for 20 years, and because of the legal lawsuits that we were going through with Fear Factory, somehow Ibanez and all these other companies that endorse me, that pay me, all got thrown into the mix of the lawsuit.
Oh, yeah.
So some people, you know, unfortunately, Ibanez was in the middle of the crossfire of all that. So things didn't work out. So I ended up leaving, and I've been friends with Perry for the last couple of years. And I just saw that, you know, a lot of the stuff he was making was definitely more cutting edge guitar, right? And with this, obviously with a company like his, we could actually, you know, do more stuff and a lot less red tape.
No one would probably be able to do this.
No, exactly.
This is insane right here.
This is the sun god or the Aztec calendar. Yes, and this is a fixed Floyd right here.
Okay.
So there's no.
So you just like
there's no springs on the back.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Do you like that because you like the?
I like the fine tuners. Yeah, and plus you know what? I like the tension from here to the nut because you can really pull on it and bend it.
It's also a little of the feel.
Yeah.
Of the bridge as well.
Exactly.
The effect you're playing. This looks amazing. I'm trying to.
This is also my signature pickup on Seymour Duncan. And this is a new one. It's called the Machete. And it's an open coil active. They actually did one called the Duality a few years ago.
That's right. I remember.
Yeah, but that one obviously needed some tweaking. And so basically what we did is we took the preamp out of my Retribution and put it in there.
Okay.
And it gave it a little bit more, I would say a little bit more top end, a little bit more clarity.
Right.
And it's a little bit slightly hotter. Because this is not as hot as a Blackout. Because the Blackout was pretty extreme. Yeah. And so we just lowered the gain on the Blackout. And that's what these Retributions were.
Yeah, these look great. And that one, what is that?
This is the in tribute to the Mad Max movie. This is the car, and this is like the badge that he wore in the first movie, the Mad Max.
Did Perry sell you that idea, or?
It was just, you know what, it was a conversation that we had, and we found out that we both loved the movie a lot. Yeah. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna make a guitar then, and that's how it came out.
That's cool.
Yeah. And what I like about these also is that the necks, the profile on these necks are super thin.
Yeah, I can feel it.
And they're super solid. And even on this 8-string, I don't know if you tried that.
Oh, it's an 8-string. Shit, I didn't even. Holy shit. Wow. Yeah, it doesn't feel necessarily like an 8-string. Usually with an 8-string, it's just a
you feel
bat.
like a huge bat. Yeah. Well, I have smaller hands, obviously, so I like my necks pretty thin.
Kill switch, or?
It's a on and off switch, pretty much.
Oh, okay, cool.
And that's the bomb that he had underneath his car.
Did you do this, Perry? That looks really amazing. I have to take a picture of that show.
Yeah, it's really flush in there. So I was worried about that. I go, hey man, is that gonna rub against my T-shirt or whatever? Am I gonna rip it? But he made it flush, so that's really cool.
Okay. Oh, that's really cool.
So
does this work?
Yeah. The light goes on.
Oh really?
If you plug it in,
yeah. You have to plug it in. Hang on, take this.
I don't know if you can plug it in or not. There we go.
Oh shit.
Look.
Oh there you go.
Oh, it's on. That's it.
That's cool.
I don't have a pick on me, but yeah, this is cool. I'm really happy with these guitars a lot. I really love the bolt-on construction.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Do you feel that it adds sustain?
Well, hold on. Let me first tell you why I started to do this.
Yeah.
Because a long time ago, some of my first Ibanez's, were playing on stage, and I was trying to be a rock star, and I would throw them to my tech, and he would miss them, and the necks would break. Okay. Right? Usually the headstock. Yeah. And they were like, "Oh man, it's a neck through." Yeah. So we'd have to send it out. So I said, "Oh, you know what? Since I'm going to be throwing to you, why don't I get a bunch of them made with bolt-on?" Yeah. So that's what we did.
Can just drop
so I throw it, boom, it's another neck ready to go for the next guitar. So that's how I started to get into bolt-on construction. And plus, it doesn't matter really, because if it's made well,
Yes.
it's going to resonate well.
Exactly.
You know, it doesn't matter if it's bolt-on or neck through or whatever.
But
But I also noticed that when it's a neck through, that it's also a little heavier.
Mm-hmm.
And so as I get older and I perform 200 to 300 shows a year,
Yep.
you know, it's good to have these guitars lighter.
Yeah. 8-string is also hard to not get heavy.
Yeah, I know that, you know, some of the other guys that were on Ibanez were getting a lot of chambers in their 8-string guitars because they were just too heavy. And they were shortening the scales too.
Yeah,
Because it was messing up their shoulder here. Because, you know, playing every night like this, you know, further down like that hurts.
Oh, but this one is multi-scale.
Yes.
A slight fan.
Yeah, so this one is a 26.5 year and a
Okay.
25.5 year.
Oh, perfect.
So it's a 1-inch fan basically, compared to a 2-inch fan.
Way prefer that.
Yes.
When it's a small fan, it makes a lot more sense.
Exactly, and that was something that, you know, I talked to Perry about, like, let's do it, you know, and I was like, I like the fan, but I don't want it that bad. And he was like, I got it. I know what I know what I can do.
Yeah.
And so he made the 1-inch fan.
Yeah, I
which
think
is
that
killer.
like when you have the bigger fan, it's always the problem of playing here.
Well, when you play here,
you
you're going to hit your finger right here,
Exactly.
and I always hated that feeling.
yeah, exactly.
But this, you don't feel it at all.
yeah,
Yeah, it's way better.
these feel great. So, do you have any? You were talking about amplifier coming. Do you know any idea?
It's basically going to be the demanufacture head.
Awesome.
That's what it's going to be, and that's what we're going to call it, the demanufacture.
Do you know when?
As soon as Mike gets to it.
Okay, that's cool, dude. Dino,
I'm hoping sooner.
thank you so much for being on my show.
Thank you. I appreciate
And you didn't get any coffee, but that's okay.
it. Well, where's your coffee?
I already had like 10 coffees
okay.
today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here, and thank you, Perry.
Thanks.
Bye.